This video presentation is to spread awareness on how to protect your personal information as a citizen of the Philippines. Privacy refers to the protection of an individual's confidential data. Any information that enables others to identify you is considered as personal information. We must be confident that our information will not be collected, disclosed, or otherwise used without our knowledge. Numerous organizations, quite rightly, require personal information when carrying out their various functions. This causes issues. How do we ensure that this information is used correctly? And how do we know what are the purposes?
According to the recent data, Filipinos spend an average of 10 hours and 2 minutes per day online, the most in the world. For the fourth year in a row, the Philippines leads in social media usage. Personal information from the Philippines, including photos of daily activities, is widely available on the internet. Data security is critical in this system because no data or information should be leaked to the public. All information will be encrypted when traveling through local and external networks to ensure data safety, and that information is not lost during a transfer.
How will you protect your personal data? Let me introduce to you the Republic Act 10173 or the Data Privacy Act of 2012. What is the Republic Act 10173 or known as Data Privacy Act of 2012? Republic Act 10173 or the Data Privacy Act of 2012 or the DPA. To protect the fundamental human right to privacy of communication while ensuring free flow of information to promote innovation and growth. Inherent obligation to ensure that personal information in communication systems in government and in private sector are secured and protected.
Who implements the DPA? The National Privacy Commission or NPC oversees administering and implementing the DPA. It is also tasked to monitor and ensure compliance of the Philippines with international standards for personal data protection. The major functions of the NPC are as follows. First, rulemaking. Second, advisory. The NPC is the advisory body on matters related to the personal data protection. Third, public education. The NPC shall launch initiatives to educate the public about data privacy, data protection, and fair information rights and responsibilities. Fourth, compliance and monitoring. The body has compliance and monitoring functions to ensure personal information controllers comply with the law. It is also tasked to manage the registration of personal data processing systems. Fifth, complaints and investigations. Last is enforcement. Personal information controller is an individual or institution or any other body who controls the processing of personal data or instructs another to process personal data on its behalf.
How to comply with the Data Privacy Act? If you are a personal information controller, you are required to comply with the following in accordance with the law. Registration of Data Processing Systems, DPS, an individual or institution employing fewer than 250 employees need not to register unless its data processing operations involves sensitive personal information of at least 1,000 individuals likely to pose a risk to the rights and freedoms of data subject, or the processing is not occasional. First, appointment of a data protection officer in charge of ensuring compliance with the DPA. Second, creation of a data breach response team that will immediately address security incidents or personal data breach. Third, adoption of data protection policies that provide for data security measures and security incident management. Fourth, annual report of the summary of documented security and personal breaches. And lastly, compliance with other requirements as may be provided by the NPC.
So, what acts are covered by the PDA? The PDA and its implementing rules and regulation apply to all acts done or practices engaged in and outside the Philippines. So, if the person, either an individual or an institution, involved in the processing of personal data in the Philippines, the act or practice involves personal data of the Filipino citizen or a Philippine resident. So, the processing of personal data is done in the Philippines, or the act, practice or processing of personal data is done by an entity with link to the Philippines, subject to international law and committee. So, personal data refers to all types of personal information. Processing is any operations performed upon personal data. These operations include but are not limited to the collections, recording, organization, storage, updating, or modification, retrieval, consultation, use, consolidation, blocking, erasure, or destruction of data.
What should you do in the event of data breach? The law requires a data breach notification within 72 hours. Upon knowledge of the breach are generally required when the breach involves sensitive personal information or any information that may be used to enable identify fraud. This information has been acquired by any unauthorized person and the acquisition is likely to give rise to the real risk of serious harm to the affected data subject.
The possibility for inappropriate use of information arises. Inappropriate can occur intentionally or it can be quite innocent and unintentional. It is a virtual thoroughly understand the source, nature, and accuracy of any information before it is used. An example of inappropriate information used include client's email address collected by a business or sold to a direct mail company. The direct mail company then send out mass advertising or spam mail.
Privacy is the key to unlocking the most intimate and personal aspects of yourself, the aspects that makes you most vulnerable. Your entire body is exposed, your sexual experiences and fantasies, your past, present, and potential future illness, your failure, losses, and fears, the most heinous things you've ever done, said, or thought, your shortcomings, errors, and triumphs, the most humiliating experience you've ever had, the family member that you'd rather not have, and the most inebriated night.
Furthermore, privacy is all about more than just you. Personal and collective privacy are both important. When you reveal your personal information, you put us all at risk. Individual freedom to associate, speak their minds, and read what they are interested in is required for democracy. For people to vote accordingly to their beliefs and without undue pressures, for citizens to protest anonymously without fears of repercussions. If we are to live in the democracy, the people must have the most of the power. If corporations hold the most of the power, we will have plutocracy. If the states holds the most of the power, we will have some of the authoritarianism.